You know, my company used to produce a program called Big Brother. It's called reality TV. That's what Trump does in the Oval Office with foreign heads of state. He sets the questions, he is the judge, he is the jury, and he decides how everything, and it creates a lot of drama, which is what we used to create when we produced Big Brother. It was never unrehearsed, by the way. There was a lot of planning, but that's what that Oval Office encounter is. It's a lot of drama where Trump comes up always as the winner. He's always the winner. At the end of the day, during that whole session, they ended up denouncing our own country. I mean, I was shocked. Our own presidential delegation is going to the largest economy in the world with the most visible president in the world, and they're telling the world we're a crime-ridden country. So what are they doing to the tourism for South Africa? What are they doing to the reputation of the country if they're going to the White House to say we're a crime-ridden country? Anyway, Trump didn't ask them. He just said there's genocide against Afrikaans people or Afrikaans farmers. He didn't ask whether we have crime or we don't have crime, but they are the ones who are bad-mouthing the country. I asked myself, first, what was COSATU doing in that delegation? This is a government delegation. Okay, he asked for the golfers. Trump himself asked for the golfers and for Johan Rupert. So, yes, they were his guests in a way. But I don't understand what role did COSATU have. And then the president of COSATU says that we are violent people, we cut each other's throats up. What was that all about? It was a shocking performance. Why is he building up a group? And it's a very well-targeted group, by the way. He is targeting the blue-collar white workers in South Africa, who are predominantly Afrikaans. He's targeting that group. He's targeting the lower middle class Afrikaans-speaking white group. So it's a well-targeted group which he's taking to America. Now, why is he taking this group to America? Cyril should have asked him, why are you taking these people to America? What do you do with them when they get to America? What do you train them to do? Why is Trump mobilizing a section of the South African population and encouraging it to go to the United States? Question number one, they should ask themselves that question. Secondly, what does he do? What is he going to do with those people when they get to the United States? Those are the two primary questions they should have asked themselves. In my view, Trump is trying to build what is called a fifth column in South Africa. He's trying to build a group that is antagonistic, especially to the ANC, but answers to him. Because those people, they left the country with South African passports. We don't know what Trump is going to do with them. And then they're going to come back because they still have their passports. You can't exclude them from the country. We're having sections of our population being turned against the South African government by Donald Trump. What does he plan to do with these people? Is he planning to organize an insurrection against the South African government? Because he's running this narrative about this hugely victimized section, and a very clearly targeted section of our population. Is he going to use this population for an insurrection against the government of South? That he should have asked him. Our president should have asked him, is that what you're planning to do with these people? And then let's hear what Trump says. Trump is not interested in statistics. He's interested in effect. Statistics don't give effect. He wants drama. You can't create drama with statistics. You have to make a story. He gives a story. He doesn't give any statistics. He shows these crosses. You know, if you go to Arlington Cemetery in Virginia, you have crosses like that for the soldiers who have been killed in the many wars America is fighting. If you go to France, in the cemeteries from the First World War, the Second World War, you have crosses like that. The cemeteries of the Commonwealth, in Belgium, you have crosses. You could take a picture like that anyway. What does Trump want from South Africa? They should have asked him that question. He's preoccupying himself with the internal affairs of South Africa. What's he after? What does he want from us? Instead, they go there and ask him for help. They say, we're a crime-ridden society. We need help. We need drones. We need this, that, and that. South Africa makes drones. We don't need to go to the Americans to be given drones. We make drones. Why do we need Starlink? We have our own telecommunications systems in South Africa. We have huge cellular phone companies in South Africa. They can set up a telecommunication system for the police stations if they don't have one. But I'm sure our police stations have their telecommunication system. We don't need to go and ask the Americans for one. Why does our relationship with the United States need resetting? We have over 600 American companies. Many of them have been here for decades. Ford Motor Company has been here for decades and decades. Why does it need a reset relationship between South Africa and the United States? They haven't explained that. It's because they are falling into Trump's propaganda. And they think Trump's propaganda is something we have to answer to. But they're trying to be polite. Trump is making propaganda. He has a plan for South Africa. He has targeted certain social groups which he wants to use for his agenda. You don't need to reset anything. There's no need to reset our relationship with the United States. Our trade relationship with the United States is working fine. We have 600 or more American companies. Go to them and ask them, is your economic relation in South Africa, are you making a profit? And if you are making a profit, why do we need to reset relations with the United States government? Because we're dealing with people to people of the United States. They have their companies here. They should have taken Trump head on about the propaganda and why he's bad-mouthing South Africa. We have companies from his countries which are operating and making money in South Africa. But he's trying to cause trouble in our relationship between our two countries. Why is he causing trouble in the relationship between South Africa and the United States? They should have asked him that. You see, if we don't understand what Trump's agenda is, then there's nothing you can fix because you don't know what the problem is. If you ask our government today, what is the problem between the United States and South Africa? Why is the President of the United States bad-mouthing South Africa and sending out propaganda about genocide, about expropriation? Why is he doing that? They can't tell you. They won't be able to tell, because they are not doing their homework. They're not doing their homework, analyzing what is behind, what are Trump's objectives. We have investment from all over the world, not just from the United States. We have investment from Sweden. We have investment from China. We have investment from other African countries. So and anyway, the American investors don't need Trump's permission to come and invest in South Africa. They will invest in South Africa if they think they will make money. So we have to create an environment that's conducive to private investors, domestic private investors, and foreign private investors. We don't have to pay any attention to what Trump thinks about South Africa. I was shocked by the behavior of our delegation there. Because instead of tackling Trump, who is trying to destabilize our country and using the opportunity to show him up to the world that he's trying to destabilize South Africa, we start talking about why we are full of criminals. We have so many criminals in South Africa who are cutting people's throats and doing all sorts of horrible things to the population. How are you advancing South Africa's interests when you're turning around and blaming yourself and blaming our country for the problems that actually that had nothing to do with Trump? Trump never asked them